Hello and welcome everyone, this is Calebovitsch coming to you with the second episode of Drafters, and today our special guest, a very special guest, is gibbonplusplus. Could you tell us a bit about yourself, Gibbon?
Hey, hello. I'm Gibbon. I'm a draft streamer. I've been playing since set one, but I've been playing more seriously since set four, really. And yeah, I'm at Gibbon Plus Plus on Twitch. I do like 25-ish drafts a month. Other limited stuff. It's fun. I don't know. Was there more?
And we sometimes, like once a week or twice per week, do a joint draft stream on Twitch as well.
Yes. Oh, those are so fun. Yeah.
These are very fun. And now we're doing an off-stream one, and let's just jump to the draft. Okay, so I will let's switch over between packs. So I will just start talking about the first one. Then you give your opinions. Then you start about with the second one. Then I voice my opinions, and let's just try and not mess it up as I tend to do in these drafts lately.
Per pack or per pick?
Per pick. Sorry, per pick.
Per pick. Okay.
I mean,
Do you want to talk about the draft format at all? Your last video was the first. It was set four, right? Or
last video was for set 5.5. Okay, so this draft format for me in general has been like hit and miss, with more misses than hits, to be honest. Out of like 10 plus drafts I have played, I just won once. Had a 7-2 run once with Argenport, and I did have a site to help me with that. Other than that, I've been running a couple of 5s and a lot of 3s and below. And, well, in theory, this format for me is more about going straight up 2-color than splashing, but I did splash on more than one occasion. Hasn't been that great for me, really. I think I know all the theories behind it, but it seems just to fall apart for me. It might be because of the variance, it might be because I'm lacking some knowledge, it might be because I don't know, there is a full moon. I don't know. How has it been for you?
Yeah, same story. I've done 8. I've had 1 7. It was. I feel like splashing super hard, pivoting super hard. The 1 7 I did have. Not only was it 2 colors, it was only single influence on the red and green cards, so it was just hyper easy to play. And then it was just tons of tricks and like kind of go wide like tempo aggression, and not sitting around waiting for your big yellow stuff to show up and your big Genev spells to win you the game, which I felt like was how set 5 and 5.5 work. So it's been a rough ride, but I don't think anyone's having a super easy time. I've seen people who like the format, but no one's like, oh, this is done easy. You know, like I think everyone's like really struggling with it, it was just kind of fun, but crazy at the week right before the Masters tournament. So.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into the first pack and the first pick, and the usual look goes to the rare, and it is the Feln Smuggler. I mean, smugglers and merchants in general are good, but committing to 2 colors straight away, first pick, first pack, especially those 2 colors, is very, very, I wouldn't say difficult, I wouldn't say painful, but you really shouldn't do it. I mean, as a card, if you get it later on, it's very good, but I wouldn't commit to 2 colors right now, especially that there are like 5 double color cards in Dark Frontier and around 4 times 10, around 40 multicolored cards and 2-color cards in the curated packs. So, good card, but not a first pick. I won't give Slag any slack because it is bad. It would be great in the previous format. I mean, kill an enemy sentinel.
Oh my god. Papu.
Yeah, Papu indeed. Cloud Snake Matriarch seems like an insanely good card, especially if you compare it, for example, to the 4/4 Shadow Flyer for 6 that sometimes has warp. And you don't even know whether it has warp before you do the attack, so you don't know if you want to spend your power on tricks. For example, you hold up like a high alert, you attack, then you see it's on top, but you want to play your high alert to get rid of an opposing unit, so yeah. Well, this one is actually great. I mean, I had picked it, I haven't played it yet, I think. Reread is meh, kind of. I mean, it is like redoing a spell that you need to have already. So it's just worse than having like a second copy of something. Furnish has been quite good in twist heavy decks for me. Retribution seems to shine, especially if you have even some small flyers that you can attack with, or some or those time torch dinos, as I call them. Other than that, Auric Lookout is a filler, but a decent one. The bottom row is subpar. Stampede is subpar. What do you think about these cards?
Yeah, I totally agree with the Smuggler thing. Picking two colors this early for Smugglers are great. The body on this one, I don't know if the Berserk is so exciting when it's kind of a constructed like a Blitz kind of thing, maybe more. And so yeah, I think the two other really big cards would be the big blue flyer, big blue sexy flyer that I guess so often and uncommon, and then Retribution, which I think is the easiest, most solid, probably safest card. So the only thing I'm worried about with blue is I really feel like the easiest, like most solid creature base and trick base, just the most complete color is red, and then after that it's yellow and green, and then last is purple and blue, which means that all these really fun big flyers like Horse Snatcher Bat and the draft packs, or this and the saddle back or whatever, they can lead you down a dark path sometimes, right? Where your deck doesn't come together, and a lot of times you're trying to stabilize against that red player that played, shifted out the thing on one that's 3/4 and then played a bunch of stuff. And it's like that Horse Snatcher Bat ain't blocking anything. Right? And so I think it's still probably the pick here, the Cloud Satan Matriarch. But if I was feeling a bit scared or just kind of emotionally upset the last blue deck I played, I think Retribution is probably the easiest, most playable pick here.
But when comparing just power levels of the card, Matriarch is better than Retribution, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's try and go that route. Reinforcements have arrived. I see you have to check this one up. Let me just maybe...
I gotta look it up. Sorry, I can't read it.
Pull it up here.
Oh, no. This can't be for draft, right?
I mean, the Onslaught isn't written very clearly, but as far as I know, for example, if you attack with 3 units, the top 3 units of your deck get +3 attack and +3 health. But
so if you're winning and you can swing with your board, you've completely won.
Yes.
But if you're not winning, this could have been a 5-drop creature that might have done something for you.
I mean,
I would shy away from it, I guess.
I mean, Song of War wasn't played on 2 power. This is on 5 power with Onslaught. And I mean, the enemy player can play spells for the next 3 turns. If it was the enemy player can play units for the next 3 turns, then oh yes. But other than that, oh no.
After that, I mean, the Ruins Guide is totally solid too. There's a lot of really good, just solid 2s with upside that are decently statted or above statted, and I think that's one of them. Because if the emergency doesn't go off, who cares? But there's a lot of cheap emerge stuff or shift stuff in red, right? And so that seems super easy. Char is great.
Yes.
And I think those 2 are probably way above like the big purple guy. You're shifting it for 6 and you still have to wait 3 turns and then it does show up, but it doesn't seem as fun as the other big lifesteal stuff that purple's had recently. That yellow dinosaur is just so understated, but sometimes you just need it as filler. And Bandit's Flail is very expensive. Short Sword seems awful without combos. The Meditant costs too much to draw. If you can make it bigger, I guess, but that's very slow. And the Elite's kind of a combo card. Like if you have the deck that's already going with it, that's great. And Oni Patrol is totally fine in red, but you want cards like Ruins Guide and Char to be kind of there first, right?
Yes. So with the Matriarch, the only other blue card in this pack is Elder Meditant, and it costs 3 more than Street Urchin. The Shadow one, a 1-cost Shadow Rogue 1/2, pay 3 and twist to pilfer from the opponent.
Oh, yeah, that's so much better, isn't it? I never even made that comparison. It's not like this thing should at least be flying or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if it was flying, then sure, it would be a 2/1 Aegis Flyer that draws you a card. Then it would be good, but right as it is, no. Yeah. So we gotta think about the second color now, or a probable second color. What goes well with Matriarch?
I mean, I would just say if you're going to be playing blue or purple, I really want that other color to be red if it could be. And I think this pack is leading to that because it's got probably the second 2 or maybe 3 best cards are all red.
But is it Ruins Guide or Char? But because I think both of these are better than Oni Patrol right now.
Yeah, if you go red, do you feel like you end up with enough 2s if blue's helping? I don't know. Versus having 1 Char, just to make sure you have some interaction that's cheap and easy and nice, I think I would go with the first Char before I start panicking about 2s.
Okay, makes sense.
But I could respect a Ruins Guide 2 because it seems like a really solid 2, and there's definitely a chance that blue doesn't show up for us at all on the creature side other than like big bombs. And just making sure you have enough like 1s, 2s, and 3s in red is going to completely determine how this deck goes, right?
Okay. Another thing that I have devised about this draft format that I usually tend to get low on the unit count.
Yes. It is sometimes you show up in that last screen, you got 15 units, and it's like, oh no, I have to cut some of these too.
Maybe this is a pick of Ruins Guide then.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
I like it.
I mean, if the format says that the units are more necessary, they are worth more, then Ruins Guide is just better than Char. And dealing 2 damage, I mean, there are a lot of units that have like 1 or 2 health.
With twists and stuff, yeah.
Especially, yes. But I mean, Char, I think I would like to test out Ruins Guide here.
Yeah, I want to play it too. And also, maybe if our colors were Rakano or Praxis, we would be more comfortable with our unit base. But since it's going to be Skycraig so far, then I think we should maybe err on the side of making sure the units show up.
Okay. Ruins Guide then. Peak Top Tracker is an amazing card. I see you're very happy about that.
I'm excited to see it.
Okay, it's a 2/2 Overwhelm for 3 with double Primal, which is a bit understated, but when you scout, Peak Top Tracker gets +2/+2. And the thing that might not catch your eye is that he gets +2/+2 permanently, and there are a lot of cards that allow you to scout on a very constant basis. For example, the red common Blurry Chaser that you can already scout for 2 or 3 times already. But also there is Bulbous Humbug here, the 1/2 flying insect in time that allows you to draw sigils from your deck. And that is just also amazing. We've already seen Oni Patrol. Mute is maybe decent, but not the greatest. It can lead out to some interesting killing of like 2 flyers incoming. Outdraw is like a worse Fiery Fisher, and Fiery Fisher wasn't the greatest to begin with. Yeti Instigator is a vanilla 3/3 that is just so much worse than Peak Top Tracker. I mean, come on. What do you think about Quicksilver Ooze in general?
I know Cassandra loves it.
Obviously.
It's good. Yeah, and with the Horn of Plenty or whatever, any way that you can buff it and then also buff the blobs, it's insane. But I do think I think I'm a little conservative on it. I think it is more of a combo-y thing, and if your deck is going for it, great, and pick it because maybe it works out. But standing by itself, I don't love it, and I would hope that I have enough really good static creatures in yellow in my other color to not play it without help. But it's not that hard to get some help for it. So it's fun, but I think people are having too much fun and overvaluing it. It's my impression so far.
Okay, there are also the vanilla-ish Crooked Alley Guide and Horde Duelist that are just okay, but nothing compares to Peak Top Tracker. I mean, this should have been a rare, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, I like that Scout matters, but this guy, Scout matters way too much, right? And so it's like, it blows up.
But Scout matters, but there aren't that many cards where Scout matters, honestly.
Exactly. They seem to give 5 of those units to him and 1 to another creature, and then that was it, right? I would have preferred a little more spread out of the love of Scout Matters, but this guy got everything.
Yeah, this guy got everything, and we're just getting him.
Yeah, and 2 people passed it, which is good for our colors. And speaking of our colors, this is great. I don't know what that tablet is. I'm not going to read it. This whole top row, just whatever. The Warhawk is great and a staple of your green decks to close out the games. Blurry Chaser, I think we already mentioned. It is, I don't know what more you want out of a 2-drop, especially a 2-drop that's going with our Scout Matters guy. This thing is everything. Compare this to the 3/1 quick draw guy from the last set.
Yeah, 3. Exactly.
Also, you get to Scout. That's great. 1 is very cheap and way to spend your money. I'd like to take up a Char and Razor Quill here, but I think Blurry Chaser, it's perfect. It's exactly what we want to see here.
And Razor Quill is just the poster boy of why Twist is good.
Yes, even I even saw everyone on Reddit say this card was great when it came out, and I was still like, I'm a limited player, 2/4 for 4. No, I'm totally wrong. This guy's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I had one game yesterday when the opponent throughout the game buffed it to be a 15-1.
Oh my, they went total topside. That is so cool.
Total topside.
And that's just a lot of like pinging and gaining health too.
Yeah. Okay, but Blurry Chaser is the clear pick over Char, right?
Excited.
Alrighty. Now, okay, we have Murderous Flock, and when you're talking about Scout Matters, I mean, the art is creepy and fine, but if this was just a 3/3 flyer for 4, it would be okay, not the greatest. It has conditional flying, so what does this dodge even? I mean, come on, this is not good. I mean, it's worse than the Yeti Instigator for me.
I agree with that. I'm wondering if we end up with such a scout-heavy deck that this might be the one time it's like 5% better than Yeti Instigator. But I think Yeti Instigator is totally the better pick.
Yeah, because the other cards, there's nothing here really that would make us switch our colors.
No, Warhawk probably the best card in a vacuum, but we can't start green for the fifth best card in our deck.
But let me take a look at the deck itself. So for now, we have Blurry Chaser and Peaktop Tracker that are Scout Matters. We have Ruins Guide that is Shift Matters, and we have Cloudsnake Matriarch that is Warp Matters.
We're doing all of it.
So yeah, we're doing all of it, which means we're not doing anything specific, which might end up hurting us. Just saying. Well, let's pick the wonky looking Yeti.
I did see somebody have a defensive fast spell that scouted to allow the Murderous Flock to fly to make a block on a flyer that they didn't see coming. I don't think we're going to ever play the cards to make that happen, but I saw the clock do one thing once, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we should go with the Yeti.
Okay, let's check the Yeti out.
Oh, you want me to go? Or, sorry. Death from Above has won me more than 0 games. It's cost 4 instead of 5, like the other like game winners, like Cloud of Ash and the 2 unblockable purple thing that we've had for a while. I don't hate it. I don't know if you pick it in pack 1. I guess it's against everything else. Like I think the vanilla 3/3 here for us is probably still just fine filler. But I definitely respect it. It definitely like. I mean, even if your creature already flies, just the Berserk might be the reach you need, especially if you're an aggressive deck with red in it. You're probably whittling down their health in the first part of the game. But generally, reach cards are not as good as just solid cards in a limited situation, right?
So it's still Instigator over Death from Above. What about Fragility?
It feels like it just says 2 mana, 2 for 1 yourself.
Right. Unless you're already comboing out with that 2-cost Blue Yeti that pings for 1.
Yeah, well, doesn't that twist kill it? Or
yes.
Well, there's also Storm Chaser or whatever. There's the little pingy 4 mana 0/1 too.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things that won't make you 2 for 1 yourself, but it is still too fragile of a pick. So yeah, Instigator. Okay, I keep getting Eviscerate this late in drafts, and I don't know why. It's the most unconditional kill spell there is. It is Double Shadow, and it is one more expensive than Death Strike, and it's not fast. This Onslaught, I mean, if you have a ton of these, it's a win condition of just killing your opponents, milling and killing. The shadow cards are. The other 2 shadow cards are lackluster, so let's focus on the 3 in our Skycrag colors. Okay, so Diving T-Rex for me has been a little better than Aerial Ace. I think that's the closest comparison. That one is a 5-cost 2/3 flyer Aegis. This one has 1 higher cost, 1 higher health, doesn't have Aegis, but on Onslaught deals 2 damage to an enemy. It is a bit of card advantage, but it is also very expensive to play and only kills a small unit when you're on turn 6. So that makes it not as valuable as I initially thought. Mining Team is a 4-cost 2/2 or a 2-cost shift with Warp, with Summon Scout, and to be honest, warping it for 2 and then scouting and then attacking for unblockable 2 in a couple of turns has been better than I initially thought, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, preach it. There is also Camp Surveyor that, those Shift 1 units, I tend to shift them on 1 more often than not. Even the Time 2 cost unit. Because scouting on 1 is just great. But I still think it should be Mining Team over Camp Surveyor, especially seeing your reaction.
Yeah, I think Camp Surveyor is like very similar to there's another card, the purple one that's 3/2, right?
Yes.
And then there's
also
the 3/4 reckless red one. So I think it doesn't compare well to those two, unfortunately, even though we do care about Scott. I feel like Mining Team snuck up on me because it looks like a trash tier limited card. It's a 4-mana 2/2. Like, why would you play that? It's like, well, it's also a 2-mana 2/2. Also, it does a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, if you do warp it on 2, it's very easy to afford. It does stuff. It shows up later. I don't know. I don't want to call it good, but it's certainly a card that's going into more of my decks than I realized, and good things are happening. And I haven't had the chance to try Dabbing Terry-X, but I think everything you said it makes a lot of sense. As it comes out late, the 2 damage is nice because very few cards do 2. It's usually 1, right? So maybe that can be a little more relevant than normal. But otherwise, you paid 6 for a big 2/4 flyer. And if you compare that to, I don't know, the flyer that we have for 6 or just, other things in general, it doesn't seem bad. I think I would be happy picking it here if the Mining Team wasn't here, which is a crazy thing to say, but I think I agree with you on that Mining Team, especially because also we care about Warp and Scout.
Like Warp for Matriarch and Scout for Peaktop Tracker. Also, and Shift for Ruins Guide. Yeah,
we found it.
We found the perfect fit for our team. Okay, but the lore behind this card is just amazing. It's like, and the Mining Team emerges from a secret passage and attacks for 2 unblockable.
And it takes them a while to dig. That's great. That's great.
Okay, and what seemed a good idea at the time is the best card name from the whole set. I have been on the receiving end of it once already when the opponent. And he played it from his hand even, but changed something into the 2/5 double damage, give your units +2/+2 green dude, and just wrecked me with that.
Oh no!
but that's so much RNG. There's also Belligerent Yeti that is good stats, and if you're able to twist it more than once, I have played Furnish on it and turned it into an Arc Lightning or just a reusable torch and just killed 2 units off of it, like a 1 health flyer and a 2 health ground unit. And I just like it very much. From the shadow cards, they are mediocre, and we're just happy to stay on color with the Yeti, I think. Or what do you think about good idea at the time?
I haven't got a chance to try it, and it hasn't been played against me. It does seem like, if you can warp it, it turns a power card in your hand to a non-power card. But you're right, there's so many fail cases where, like, you get a bad card, you don't have power to get rid of, it's in your opening hand, you're forced to draw it or something like that.
Well, we do have Matriarch, because it's when you warp a card, any card, not only a unit.
It's true. That's true. I think the Yeti is too flexible and nice and something at 2. I do want to give a shout out to Stone Scar Outfitter. This is another card I looked at and it said this has got to be garbage. And I don't love playing purple, but something I think Yada said was just compare it to the 2/4 Instigator, and it's like it's the Instigator that empowers every turn. It's like for 4, and it's like
sure.
Okay. Like it's I don't think it's great, but it's definitely I thought it wouldn't make my deck as filler, and that's totally wrong. It totally is your regular game player in purple.
Okay, it's still Yeti, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, just 1 card to pick from here.
What's the Devotee of the Sands doing here? That card's great.
Is it though?
Is it? What's your thoughts on this? I feel like a 2-mana 1/3 ramp. I don't know what the shift is even for, but like, isn't this what you want in yellow?
I thought about the shift here as well. Shift on the small units is just that usually later in the game and on a board stall, it's just, sure, I'll shift it, I'll deal 1 damage to the opponent later, it might matter.
That's fair.
But when you want to play it on turn 2, I thought to myself on more than one occasion, okay, I want to ramp to a 4 cost, I will just play it because it is defensive and I just can deal 1 damage to the opponent. and then the opponent kills it. And a couple of times, the first couple of times I played against it, the opponent was always shifting it on turn 2, because then it is safe. It is a safe ramp.
Right.
But what can kill it? I mean, Streets Ablaze? You want Streets Ablaze this, usually.
You'd feel like you'd be happy for them to do that. Like I get the shift in constructed especially seems important because it's a city. And also in this format, I have to say, so you can ramp to 4 and do what exactly? The yellow 4s are not exactly great, but you want to get to 5 sooner, and the 5 does have some behemoths and stuff like that, right?
What do you think about the Owlet outlet here?
Adorable art. I want another card of the big one behind it with the little one. I love my Eager Owlet, my Green Flyers deck for sure. I think it's probably kind of bad, but is serviceable filler. You know, it gives you your onslaught attacks. You might be able to buff it or attack. It just gets in some chip damage. You might get to play it for free. Not for free, for warp. We totally pick it in here because we have to, but like it might make the deck.
Okay. The funniest thing is for me when I'm talking about like 2-cost 1/1 flyers or 3-cost 1/2 flyers, there used to be or still is in the format, 1-cost 1/2 flying Cloud Snake.
True.
And you're not picking it at all. And right now I'm thinking about a 2-cost 1/1 flyer just because it has warp, just because it has that extra something there.
Yeah, but is the 1 health that relevant, and then is the 1 mana that relevant? It's like they're both really bad bodies for the value of 1 card, and this card gives you the dream of not paying a card for it.
Yes, not paying cards for a card is a dream. I mean, just the red coin, okay? Just the red coin that deals 1 damage changes all my perception about 1 health units.
That's a very good point. I love that. You can splash that coin if you're somehow fixed in your 2 colors and don't have red.
Yeah. Also, funny thing to look at here, we only have units. In a very unit-light format.
That makes me feel good, because I don't think the middle packs are going to give us a whole lot besides pit fighters.
True. Okay, I wanted to ask your opinion about this card.
I have not got much of a chance to play it. I like the 2 mana 1/3s and the 2 mana 2/2s that have really cool abilities. I feel like they very easily could have understated these things into oblivion to the point where like the ability had to be relevant. Not that 1/3s are that exciting. I want to see it go off. I mean, it sounds like the ones you're twisting in purple are like the spike bat, not spike.
Razor Quill.
Razor Quill, different spikes on different back. Okay, and the deadly guy. So I don't know. I guess I'm not sure what the dream is necessarily, but it seemed like I don't play purple decks and think I have too many good 2-drops, and this seems like a decent 2-drop. So I think I like it.
I mean, the closest comparison for me is to Dune Painter, but Dune Painter costed 3 for a 2/2. If it costed 2 for a 2/2, it would be much better. This one at least has decent stats because they could have made it a 3-cost, for example, or a 2-cost 1/2 where it wouldn't matter. But the problem with Amplify was that you had to pay everything up front, so that cost buff was gave you more. With Twist, you can pay your interest over time, but if you have, for example, the blue flying sprite that loots, and it loots for 0, it's much better. Razor Quill can just ooze your opponent down. So there are some uses to it.
Cow, it has a long way to go, right? From 1/4 to possibly 4/1. That costs what, 2? So that costs 1. Would be great.
No. That lightning sprite. Oh, you mean Tauride Pilot?
Yeah, the test pilot.
Yeah, test pilot costs 2, but the sprite costs 1, so now it costs 0, and then it's just good. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't change the fact that this pick is going to be interesting. What do you think? T-Rex or Needle Spitter?
I think it's Teriax. I don't think I'd play even in a scout crazy deck. I really don't. I mean, it's bad enough that card that like needed flying. This thing doesn't do anything if you don't scout. And so I think we take the Teriax and maybe try not to play it, but if it gets in, okay.
I mean, an opponent did have a Needle Spitter in play, then played a Blurry Chaser, activated it 3 times, and attacked me with a 9/3 Needle Spitter.
It does stack, doesn't it? Okay.
Yes, it's not once per turn. If you scout it, it gets +3. It's each time. So what do we have? We have a Blurry Chaser. I mean, if we had like 2 or 3 of those, I would think about Needle Spitter.
Sure.
Other than that, we only have Mining Team. So I also think it's T-Rex, but I wouldn't discount Needle Spitter. The only bad instance of Needle Spitter is that it dies instantly to the Time Torch Dino. The 3-cost 3/1 Overwhelm Killer.
Right. Oh,
this is the easiest target.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, it's T-Rex. I mean, we don't need to play it.
Yep.
Meditant over coin.
I would entertain playing off-color coins, not Amethyst coin, though.
Yes.
Like the blue coin, maybe the red or green one, or maybe the yellow one. This is the only coin that it would be absolutely insane to put into a deck that doesn't have purple.
Exactly. And the last pick, ooh, a premium one. Nice.
Hey, shiny.
Goes to the pool. Okay, the funniest thing is that we got 11 units. I mean, come on, what are the odds of that? And honestly, it's a good thing, right?
Yes.
We also got to look at it this way. We have 3 red units. It's Mining Team, Ruins Guide, and Blurry Chaser. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue units. So honestly, we don't need to focus ourselves on Skycrag if something better in a second color comes along. So let's not.
And our doubles are all in blue too, so that does feel good.
Let's not tunnel vision ourselves. Just saying. Okay.
I'm just saying red's the best color, but sure. Okay.
But what? I mean, Reforge is just garbage. But what about the rest of the cards?
Oh no. So I don't think I could play Cloud Snake Settle. Like it's obviously amazingly statted, but like how your creatures are what like a third of your deck or half your deck at the best, and then which ones of those have flying, and then it's still just removed with 1 card a lot of the time. So yeah, Outlet, I guess, great. We could speculatively pick it in case a lot of more flyers show up, but I don't think red's going to help on that too much. And I don't
almost know this. This almost has flying.
Just go redesign it. But our flyers are going to be giant bombs already, or they're going to be fledgling outlets, and so I don't think you can do it. Icebreaker doesn't belong here at all, and I don't know, like, there's not even that much stun anymore, right? There's the flash freeze.
Fend off, flash freeze.
Fend off, that's right. And there's a twist unit, right?
Yeah, there's the green amazing twist unit.
That guy's amazing. So in a vacuum, I think the best card is like, oh man, Stinging Wind or Death Strike or Detain. These are all terrible. All these cards are terrible. Vulture in some decks. I think we take Grunge as just a 2-drop in case we need 2-drops. He's always here. He's been in every limited format. He's gotten buffed even. He used to be 3 mana through power. Sorry. So I don't see much of a way to not pick him here. But man, is this a really sad.
Honestly, okay, but we already have 4 2-drops, and it's just the start of pack 2.
So you want to think about what's the best different color card, maybe?
No, I want to think about. No, I want to think about Saddle and Icebreaker. Honestly.
Okay.
I mean, if
go for upside, why not?
Yeah, go for a potential upside. So Icebreaker, we can get 1 or 2 flash freezes or a couple of fend offs. Is it good with flash freeze? I mean, it does kill both of these units, but you're using 2 cards to kill 2 cards. So
this guy costs 3.
Yeah.
Just be a 0/3.
Yeah. Cloud Snake Saddle, on the other hand, I mean, unfortunately, Levitate is not here. If Levitate was here, you could just levitate your unit, play the saddle, and keep the unit big. Other than that, I mean, blue has some flyers, right?
It does. Yeah. How many flyers would you need to play? Like 5, 6, something like that. Even then,
at least 6. Yeah, you're right.
At least 6. But it's
honestly,
impossible versus the Turtle Boys, whatever.
Honestly, I'm thinking of Icebreaker. Just because we can get a couple of flash freezes, and if we do get 2 flash freezes, I mean, we're picking them higher, and we are playing them.
We're happy to have them.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if the deck's an Icebreaker deck, it'll be very obvious that it is, and we'll be happy to have them. So, yeah.
I mean,
especially because we have four 2-drops and we're way ahead on units, that it's okay to skip the boring 1/4 that we would cut first anyway.
Okay. And now we have aerial battle. Kill all your flyers. Yeah, without any upside. At least in the Stone Scar you get Callus, you get a big weapon from killing all your units. Here, no upside. No upside whatsoever. Bolt Crafter Shaman?
I glaze over Bolt Crafter Shaman pretty fast, and maybe this is no exception, but there are some interesting damage spells in red that we could still pick up, even the coin, right? Pyro Adept is usually what I go for. It's just a 2-drop,
No. Coin is not a spell. It doesn't play a spell. It is still 1 damage.
I don't think you can do Bolt Crafter then. I don't know.
There are torrential downpours.
There are some spells.
Warning jolts. I mean, there are a couple.
Maybe your lightning strike. I think Pyro Adept or Iron Hook, or maybe Arachnodon have some way to get into this deck. I think Ancient Excavator is by far the best card by itself. But we're not going to do a double yellow just for a body at the moment. I think it's too much of a stretch for Shaman or Snowfort for us. And I think the other ones, I probably wouldn't play Arachnodon, so it'd probably be Pyro Adept or Iron Hook.
Okay, given that we're unit heavy, it might be Iron Hook over Pyro Adept.
Yeah.
Just as a very bad char.
Yep.
Oh, at least we get some cards here, and some real choices.
Oh my.
Okay, so there is Crown Watch Standard, but we're not splashing at this point. There is Seek Power. Do you need Seek Power in a 2-color deck?
I'm still really happy to have it. I would not pick it over a super solid game player like it's sitting next to 3 of them right now, though.
Yes. Okay, so Rebel Sharpshooter, Flash Freeze, and Lightning Strike. I think Lightning Strike is the best out of these 3 cards, but
I think you're right.
We have no buffs for Sharpshooter, so it's just a Yeti Instigator in our off color. So it's
right. We have three 3-drops as well, so we're not even trying to fill in a curve at the moment.
Yes, and so it's between Flash Freeze, Lightning Strike, and Seek Power for me. And I think I would like to pick something Meteor over Seek Power. So is it Lightning Strike? Is it Flash Freeze? I mean, if we want to play Icebreaker, it is Flash Freeze. But I don't want to just force Icebreaker. I still think Lightning Strike is just too good of a card, especially with all those emerging units, those inevitable emerging units.
And I think a lot of our opponent's decks will revolve around that one big, nice 5/3 flyer, 4/3 flyer, 4/4 flyer. Like a lot of your top end green, purple, blue stuff is like, this is our one, these are Sarah Angel, like this is how we're going to win the game. And Lightning Strike is perfect for that.
Yeah. So I vote for Strike.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Strike for vote. Okay, and this is why curated packs are bad. I mean, these could all be grit, if I have to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in yellow, 1 Dispel is usually okay. I've been really down on Mithril Mice lately. I don't see any of the other ones. I mean, Vulture can be okay in some decks. None of this is for us. I don't know.
Overheat with Scout? No. I mean, Savage Denial. Savage Denial as an anti-trick could be played, I mean, as a one-off.
Maybe. It's also the Shiftstone pick.
Snowfort? Would we ever play Snowfort?
I don't think so.
I mean,
Twist?
Yeah, I mean, for Twist. For Blurry Chaser, for Belligerent Yeti. But it doesn't give attacks, so I don't think so. I think it's Savage Denial, and it even might end up in the deck.
It would be super fun if it did. It's fine. Feed the Flames. Oh, I don't know. I mean, okay, so that's the only card in our colors, and it can be like you can turn a non-unit into a unit. You can turn a power card into something, but it costs double red. So it seems so difficult to get out, but maybe, given how aggressive and tempo-y this format is, maybe that's okay. So I think we pick it here because I don't think we would splash anything else. I think we're too far in, and these Sharpened Reflex is pretty good. Downfall, I still think, is probably a market card. Whatever. So I think we still take Feed the Flames, but I'm not excited to play it just because it's clunky.
Okay, and it is sort of a unit, not a spell. I mean, if it was just me picking, I think I would go for the Downfall still, because I'm still in the 5.5 mentality of playing 3 colors. But you're right, Feed the Flames is the better pick here. Even if it's a bad card. Speaking of bad cards, there are 6 cards in our colors, but I see 0. Is it Pyrodept or is it Manufacture?
I think it's Pyrodept. I don't really get what Manufacture's doing here other than it warps, but
it warps for Matriarch, and that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't...
It also...
I guess there's that terrible yellow one that's just 2 of them, but it doesn't have warp, I guess, and... I don't know.
I think it does have warp, and it plays the scouting party or whatever.
It plays instead of draws. That's the difference, and it's doubling for some reason.
Yeah.
I would rather just have Pyrodept will get killed for free once in a while, but otherwise it's a 2. It hits for 3. It trades and stuff. It's fine. We want a lot of 2-drops in one.
I mean, the upside of Manufacture would be if you have that Lightning Sprite or Pitfall Trap that loots you.
Right.
These would be the only upsides, but we don't have any of these, so I agree it's just mediocre Adept.
Yeah, it made a little more sense during the Inspired days and the Granite Matter stuff, but...
Yes. And once again, it's a big no, it's another one. Just let's skip over it.
This is the best set for Grit. Can we just acknowledge that? This is the most armor-mattering set we've ever been in.
No, it's actually the best set and format for Warren Shield.
That's very true, yes.
Okay. I still think I would play Blinkwolf over the Pyrodept.
Yeah, at least one of them. Yeah, for sure. Doggo. Never Staff of the Archmagister. I don't know what that is.
Backlash as an upgrade to Savage Denial, or maybe even play both. These are sad times.
We're in trouble for playing both, but I think you'd play it by itself over the other one. Argivore Soldier sitting there makes me feel bad. There might have been a green deck here, but I liked our early pack enough to not consider it now, but 3-2 for 2 is totally fine.
Militant is okay in this format, but Grandfather's Axe might actually be a card. I mean, it helps with our twists. Yep. So it's kind of like Snow Fort.
The 1/1 for 1, no matter what's written on it, is so hard to pick, and yeah.
Okay, look. Gibbon, let's play Counter Yetis, please.
Counter Yetis. So mischievous.
I mean, we have Savage Denial and 2 Backlashes. Oh, we can pick a third one. Oh, I almost misclicked there. Oh my goodness.
What can you highlight Ruby Catalyst? I have no idea what it does.
Of course you don't.
Exhaust an enemy unit. 30 use to get a Sentinel. Huh?
No. I mean, I saw it being played. I mean, it can be situationally good, but other than that,
let's hard shut down next to the card next to it.
Let's scroll down and just deal 5 damage to an enemy unit without quick draw. Okay, in general, Infinite Hourglass is a good card, but there are no Relic Matter cards in this format. Almost no Relic Matter cards. There is that.
It was so good in 5 and 5.5.
Yeah.
Or 5.5. I don't remember.
But other than Infinite Hourglass and Gundown, this is another empty pack. And this is what we're getting in the curated pack. So most of your deck should come out from Dark Frontier. If you get some good cards out of curated packs, then you win.
Right.
Otherwise, get a removal.
Gundown might be one of the best single target removal spells in the whole set right now, right?
Gundown?
Like it's probably going to make our deck over the 6 mana deal 4 or relic weapons and stuff. Like the 5 deal 5 is awesome.
Sure. So another Hourglass that we're not going to take. Someone said that Backpacker's Machete is one of the better weapons in this format, and coming out of Voltron era, this makes me sad.
Quite a step down. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's the 6 mana +2/+2, and there's the 3 mana +2/+2. Now it's missing a lot of the other text on that 6 mana too.
Like Overwhelm and Double Attack.
Yeah, sure. Details. Scout matters. It's that or Sharpshooter is also really good. Are we still above the curve on units in 3s? We're at 15, and we'd probably cut a few if we could.
Yeah, I mean we cut the Meditant, we cut probably Icebreaker. We probably cut one of the Pyrodepts. And we're down to 12 units, 2 attachments, and 2 spells.
I think I'd lean towards the machete, because I think you could do some fun stuff if we're playing things like Fledgling Owlet, if we get another crack at a sharpshooter. Just in general, the +2/+2.
We do have that tracker.
Yep, we still want the scout stuff. It goes great on him, like so. This is hard because sharpshooter is like.
And he does have a backpack. Oh my goodness!
Where he's gonna keep it.
And it's backpacker's machete. Yeah, I think it's his machete.
Done.
Okay, done. And,
Rebel sharpshooter doesn't have a backpack.
Yeah, but I mean sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, we only have what? Grandfather's axe to buff him, so that's enough.
If we get one now, it's gonna be.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
I would have loved a Seed of Impulse in the last pack. Now it seems weird to speculate on yellow, but it's up against what?
Reforge our grandfather's axe?
It keeps coming back bigger and bigger? No, just the once.
Reforge our iron hook?
I didn't pick Reforge in the most weapon heavy drafts I've ever done. I still can't pick it.
I mean, I guess, but... Okay, so this is another speculative pick. Do we go for maybe a time splash with no other time sources, no other time cards? Yes. Or do we go for Reforge and think we might pick up, I don't know, another iron hook or something like that and maybe play it?
I am personally so against Reforge that I would take the Seed of Impulse or the Seed of Order and hope for some crazy legendary single influence card pack 4 pick 1.
Okay, so which one would that be?
Yeah, let's look that up.
So is it Impulse or Order?
I'm looking up legendaries in set 6, and I want to know what has 1 influence in green. There's no dual ones, right? So that's gone. We get Seraph Grand Strategist.
Okay, that's green.
And everything else has a million other influences. And then in yellow, we could get Gar Master Sandmage. When an enemy was flying is playing silence it. Okay.
Never
Glimpse
mind.
of Possibilities, Wormbait, and that's it. so maybe not legendary, maybe rare or something. I don't know. Do you think you'd play 1 big yellow unit in the top here? Probably not. Would you play 1 green card that is really good?
High Alert.
Yeah, Trick, maybe. It's still, I don't love splashing for tricks, but we could also get the Haru Smuggler. I don't know.
We could get Roosting Warhawks.
Yeah, Roosting Warhawks is like the easier one. We get Kira the Prodigy. I don't know if that works for our deck. It doesn't.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I still think it's Order over Impulse.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's speculate. Speaking of bad packs, I mean, if it was a fast spell, then maybe, and that's your Granite and Synergy. But I think this is a Trailblaze.
It's a trick for our
P-Top tracker. Yes.
Yeah, they're not going to see that coming.
I mean,
otherwise, Trailblaze would normally pretty fill our card, but
yeah, sure. The rest is garbage anyway. So is it another garbage Trailblaze just to filter our deck, or is it second Iron Hook?
I don't hate a second Iron Hook, but it is just for that that Trekker guy, right? Wow.
No, Trailblaze is just for playing 1 less card in our deck.
Yeah, in that respect,
it's just for thinning.
I wish we had more removal then, but Iron Hook is not good removal, so I think I'm leaning towards Trailblaze, but it feels weird to play 2 of them for sure.
Also, remember that you want to use it on your turn if you have enough power to warp some of your stuff. Because you can get something to the bottom, or you just draw a card, and then you can have something with warp, like just a Blink Wolf.
Right.
So rather use it main deck. Main phase.
Right.
I have died to this in the current format. Not played off warp.
Oh my god. It's so bad compared to Cloud of Ash, but it warps.
And it works.
would we play Crystal Dirk for anything? Probably not, right?
I mean,
it is the sharpshooter.
It is +2 health for Yeti,
twist,
for Blurry Chaser, so it is kind of like a bad furnish. Oh my goodness. It's a bad Worn Shield. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we still do it.
Sure. It's not that much worse than Worn Shield. It's one less twist, but one little attack.
Okay, Seed of Glory. It is another splashing for green. So
do we need the Fissura? Yeah, we're at 12. We're getting to the point where we don't have an excess of units anymore, but we're still on track.
Cloud Snake Hatchling.
We're playing worse. I don't love a Rakudon in this set. I don't think you get up to 7 that often, and if you do, it's got to be more.
I think it's Hatchling.
Yeah, I think Hatchling... I think in every other draft format, I would have taken a Rakudon over Hatchling here, and I think this is the first one where Hatchling makes a lot more sense because you're trying to Onslaught and you're trying to make them a diamond down.
That's a very interesting thing, that cards have different value in different draft formats, depending on what's maybe not trendy, but what's synergistic. Okay, Aerial Ace?
Yeah, we don't want to play either of them, but we don't have any 5 units.
Yeah,
Feels
bad
like
diving T-Rex. Trailblaze, number 3?
Guess we have to, but we
yeah.
can't play 3 of them.
Ooh, Worn Shield or Pit Fighter.
I think it's Pit Fighter.
Yeah,
I think Pit Fighter way better than Aerial Ace. I can't believe we're in a set where Pit Fighter is a normal card in good decks because it's red. But here we are, and
it's a unit. And this is Dust. Nope, it's a double Shadow Rare.
Oh man.
Ollie, the 4-armed dude. And it's a very good unit if we were in Shadow. But we're not, so let's just skip on over. This is splashable.
Oh, it's so good.
But,
I don't know if it's splashable, but it's good.
Other than that, in red we have Streets of Flame.
Yay.
We have Daring Maneuver.
Yay.
And we have just a unit.
Yay.
What do you think about Hold Under, though?
I think I hate it. I think it's an extremely expensive Dragon's Breath that doesn't happen to exhaust your unit. I read this card wrong initially. I thought it was add everything together because there's that yellow dinosaur that adds everything together to get a discount. That would be a much better card, and even then, it still costs 5. So it's going to be hard for this to be as good as a gun down. And no, I don't know. The word warp is the reason it costs so much, right? And
yes.
For a removal spell, that's a rough thing. You usually want to keep that in your hand and use it when you need to use it.
I mean, warp usually costs like 1 or 2 power. Here it costs 2 power. Because it doesn't exhaust your unit, but it doesn't renown it. But renown is not a thing. But let's skip on over to our choice.
All the red cards are great.
Yes, but Streets of Flame and Daring Maneuver are a bit better than just a Horde Duelist, in my opinion.
Both of those.
We need both of those. We can take only one. Which one is it going to be? I think it's Streets of Flame.
We have Gun Down, Lightning Strike, and that's
a couple of backlashes.
But as far as removal is concerned, this is our 3rd piece of removal, but it's pretty good. And this is our 1st combat trick, and it's all right. So I don't know. I mean, it's direct removal is usually easier and more flexible and better than a combat trick, right? And so I guess I would agree that it's probably Streets of Flame, but I would still feel really good about having Daring Maneuver.
Sure.
The overwhelm is usually not super relevant, especially if you don't have a Berserkian or something that like really goes ham with its. Like I got to play this like on Rusty Granamotive a couple times, and that was awesome. But I think you're right. I think as much as I wanted, I think just straight up do 3 damage in almost every situation would be the same or better than a 2 trick for 2.
Okay. Another Ruins guide.
Yeah.
But do we have any shifts, really? I mean, our shifts consist of Mining Team, and that's it.
MVP.
So I think Ruins Guide is gonna get the cut.
Yeah, Horde Duelist is
what do you think about Expedition Leader?
I haven't tried it. It looks really bad to me. It looks like you really set it up and you can draw 2 cards once for a 3-mana 1/1, and of course you can draw 2 cards as many times as that happens. But I don't. Even in yellow decks, I don't know about slow, dirtily draw cards helping you in draft right now. I still think it's about getting that Horn of Plenty and smashing face with your Overwhelmed Dinosaur. And I don't know if card draw is a big deal given how expensive it is or how weird it is to make it happen.
Okay, but there is the whole cycle of shift ones. The commons, even in time, there's the 2 cost dino. If you shift it for 1, then you play Expedition Leader on 3, and then you get to draw 2 cards.
So you can play it on curve and get it immediately.
Yeah, I mean you can play it on curve on turn 3. If you shift on 1, if you shift on 1 and shift on 2, now this is looking much better, right?
If you set all that up, I guess it should be good. But I've just been getting pummeled by pure tempo on board state overwhelming me stuff. That if my opponent played a 3-mana 1/1 and I'm sitting here with a red deck ready to come down on them, I think I'm happy. And so, yeah, worst case scenario, they draw a bunch of cards. Do they even still win that game? I still feel pretty good if I can get board dominance. And so in this set, I think I'm still against it, but I have not seen it. So I would love to be proven wrong about it.
Okay. Do we splash for Isolate? Is it any good?
There's certainly situations where it just like entrapment before it, where like it'll just sit in your hand and never work when you need it to work. But it does feel like I think Fall Short is much better than this, and I think Fall Short's even better than it used to be because there's a bunch of really cool units that don't have combat abilities anymore. So I think I'd play it in a green deck. I don't think I'd splash for it. I think it's too
conditional.
Too conditional, yeah. And I think we have some good cards to pick over right here.
Okay, you mean Ruins Guide, Horde Duelist, Yeti Instigator, Granite Coin.
Yes. Do we need a 2 or a 3?
I mean, among 2s...
7?
We have maybe 2 Pyrodepts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7 2-drops.
And we have 1, 2, 3 3s.
Yes. And also Mining Team is a 2-drop.
Yeah. I think the coin is great, right?
Yeah,
If you don't need more 2s and 3s, it's your power that kills stuff, like the dream.
Yeah, I mean, I would 100% go for the coin. Just wanted to hear your opinion about it.
Yeah, and I don't think we care about Birdo.
Roberto. Okay, so just focusing on our colors because we're not gonna go crazy right now. We just want to see if we're gonna splash anything green, and Castle Curator is just garbage. Even with 3 Trailblazes, spells won't matter.
What great
Pioneering Aviator is not the greatest.
I'm just glad it's a 2/2 for 2 because its ability is cute and can be cool. But my God, if it was understated or overcosted, it would be trash. So good job on properly statting something.
It's between Needle Spitter, Belligerent Yeti, and Granite Coin.
I think I like another coin.
Yeah,
that or Yeti.
Same here.
I mean, pretty similar cards, right?
Kind of.
I mean, not similar.
Sure.
Pretty similar, like adding something to your deck, allowing your deck to do something similar in that respect.
I love the coins.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, here's that relic matter I was speaking about. It's Cryptic Master.
Wow, what a strange... I guess he makes his own thing, but...
I mean, if he was here in the last set, he would be amazing. Right now, he's just... Okay, so we got red coin, blue coin, and Streets of Flame. So we haven't seen blue coin yet. Onslaught, play an inferiority complex on an enemy unit. The cursed unit gets reckless. So it has to attack each turn.
So it blanks, you fall short. It's good. It's in this deck, I feel like the burn of either of their cards are probably better.
Okay, but which coin? If Streets of Flame wasn't here, which coin would you pick?
We have 2 granite coins. I guess I'd look at our units. Do we likely have a blocker that's going to just eat something?
Probably
or do we have
not.
a bunch of Pyrodepts? Yeah. So maybe I'd just go with granite coin in this deck. But in general, if your deck has green in it or yellow in it, or even a lot of times with red, it's really nice. I mean, it's on a power. Like this is a free ability. It's like kill something. It's awesome.
Are we splashing for Headhunter?
Wanted poster. No, I don't think we splashed for it, but that would have been cool.
Okay. So is it just Streets of Flame? Just the damage?
I think so. Yeah, it's universal. Hits anything. Scouts.
How many Streets of Flame is too many Streets of Flame?
Probably 3.
3 is too much?
I think so. I mean, it's 3 for 3 is not the best ratio. I probably
It hits sights.
It hits sights. Well, yes, okay. There's how many? I guess they're all legendary and in the middle packs, but
yes.
I don't know. I think I would rather have the 1 mana Teal 2. But given it's this or Backlash, like this is great. So you still can have too many of them, I think, because it's still not great tempo wise, but it's so flexible and nice, and we just need to remove the problem spots and let our little dudes run over.
Okay, so the first pack we got all units, like 11 units. And right now we're up to 16, and most of them are just bad. So it's like
the brakes on it.
Yeah, here's also that search party we talked about previously.
Right, okay.
And Torite Test Pilot.
I've been loving him.
So right now is Needle Spitter or Owlet?
We ended up getting a couple weapons, right?
Dirk, Machete, Axe, yes.
So we're definitely at least playing the Machete. I guess I would pick another Owlet because I still don't believe in the Needle Splitter Dream, but you don't want to play 2 of them, but you might have to. I don't know.
Okay. What is this?
Oh,
it's just a better Pyro Adept.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool art.
And it's better than Bully and Owlet. And look, once again, Eviscerate, late pick.
They're always here. No one's playing purple.
Yeah. I mean, most of my decks included purple up to a time. Okay, it's still Vandal.
I've tried it a few times, but I'm souring on it fast. Yeah, this is great.
Okay. Horn of Plenty. Now that's the card we were talking about a ton.
That is maybe splashable. Not for us right now, but if we had the other one, maybe.
I mean, there's another Eviscerate in here, like the third one we saw. Guns Blazing. Not a great trick.
But I don't know.
Yeah, we pick it and we don't play it.
Yeah, compares really poorly to Trick Shot, which is bad.
Mining Team?
It's our boy.
It's our triple boy.
He's doing everything.
Sure. T-Rex and a couple... Okay, so Shadow is not played, and I think this is because Shadow is not played. If it was deal 2 damage to the enemy...
Right. Or if it was a 3/3, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to hear a developer post-mortem on what the heck happened with this card, because I'm slowly getting over the idea that they have to print really bad cards if their purpose is limited or to sell packs or whatever. There are some cards that are just perplexingly terrible. So I don't know. Even at 2 mana, I don't know. So yeah, Donatariax seems like a lot, but we might be able to get away with it.
Fend off, stun an enemy unit and scout, or another instigator as a 3-drop that we're kind of lacking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's tough because I think instigator is pretty low impact, but it is a unit, and fend off is not great. But my god, it is a trick. It does scout. It is fast speed. I don't know. We're at 20 units. Okay, so should we do a unit cut and see kind of what we're sitting at? Yeah,
because 9 of our units are 2 costs. We have a hatchling. These are also 2 costs. We're not winning with anything. Ruins.
So is that an argument for fend off because it might make something happen?
I mean, it's both, I guess, but our early game... I'm perplexed. I'm really perplexed.
We're at 20 units, and I see maybe 2 of them are god-awful. I think you take fend off.
Yeah, same
because
here.
I don't think the instigator upgrades our unit base much at all, and fend off does a thing.
Okay.
And we still might not play it, but
sure, let's do a thing. Let's pick the third T-Rex.
We don't need another one of these. Thank God we didn't pick that first one, right?
Oh, 1/3.
We would have been left with that. What do you think about this card? This is an interesting one.
Warfront Missionary. Okay, let me just get it up here.
If you're in a green deck already, like you're playing Combray or something.
Do you have a lot of Onslaught onto?
Okay, so you see it's an early curve Onslaught Enabler.
Yeah, for example, if you're running like Oni Patrols, if you're running like Svethia's Fateful, the 1/1 Warp Onslaught +2/+2, etc. So
and he's a pretty safe attack early on. That makes sense.
He's just an enabler.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's I guess I might have overvalued him because I'm like, oh, 1/3. That's a lot of times what your 2-drops are, but it's a pretty bad 2-drop, especially if it doesn't do anything in any circumstance.
Yeah, it's a worse Scaly Grunge.
Right. So I think I'm playing it. I'm happy to play it more often because I get to the end of my draft, my unit count is 14 or something, and I go, oh, he's getting played, right? So it might be that more than the merit of a 1-drop 1/3. It's just is it the most stats we've ever seen on a power per stats?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
So that piqued my interest right away because it's like, whoa, this is like kind of overstatted in a way, but it still doesn't mean it really stands on its own. I guess.
Okay, it's our green card. Do we splash for it? No. Okay, let's move on.
Why did we pick that seat otherwise?
Okay. So the most fortunate thing about this draft is that we stayed in our 2 colors. We have 21 primal, 16 fire cards.
We had to cut a couple of things.
Yes.
Not something you always get to do in this draft format.
Yeah. So 38 non-power cards. I think we play the usual 18 power. No fixing. A lot of scouting.
I think we play 18 because we have so many cards we probably want to cut. I feel like if you just looked at this curve, if all our cards were good, I'd be super excited to play 17. But since they're not, and there's so much scout, like you just said, we'd rather just make sure we get our cards out and played, and then we can find ways to get rid of that extra power, right?
Okay, so yes?
Oh, I guess the idea of scout affecting your power base is something I've never really thought about. We just have so much scout for the first time. And it makes sense, right? Like, it's 2 colors, so I think automatically a lot of our brains went from, 18 was normal in 3 colors, so 17 is normal in 2 colors. But it's like, well, the fixing is still bad for the 2 colors. We don't have dual lands, so it's like you're still sitting at like 9 and 8 instead of 10 and 11 like you could in the last set. And then the scout is how you get rid of that extra power. That's something to do with it, essentially. So
yeah, for example, you can count Trailblazers just like... If you count Trailblazers like you have a 42 card deck instead of a 45 card deck, then 40% is more like 17 than 18 power. So that makes sense. It will just depend on the curve. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. For sure. It's a thing, essentially. Yeah.
But let's start with cutting just the bad, awful stuff like Feed the Flames.
Is that... Okay, I would start with... We have 3 Diving Teriacs, right? And I don't know how much early game... Well, no, you're right. Maybe the Feed the Flames... It's double red. It has to be worse than our... We have enough early game that Feed the Flames can't be correct, right? So, yeah, you're right. I think we just get rid of that right away.
I will leave 1 Backlash and cut the second one and cut Denial, but I will leave 1 Backlash for now.
I think that's the most generous thing you can do, but I think we're stuck with it, yeah.
Guns Blazing also is gone. And we have Lightning Strike, some Trailblazers, a couple of Streets of Flame, and a Gun Down. And a couple of Granite Coins, so it's not looking that bad.
Okay.
Now for attachments. I don't think we keep Crystal Dirk.
I hope not.
It's a very low impact card. Machete is okay. Grandfather's Axe is okay. Iron Hook, maybe?
I leave it in for now.
Yeah. So we're down to 33, so we're cutting 5 or 6 more cards.
Oh, okay. I did my math bad. So we got to get rid of at least 1 Diving Teriax, maybe 2?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're pretty low impact 6-drops, and the more we could not have 6s clunk up our hand, I think is good for us. I think we do leave 1 in just because we don't have... Like, although there's that Aerial Ace sitting right there, and you were just saying it's like a better Aerial Ace, right?
Mm. Yeah, but it still has Flying Aegis, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, and we do have a few items, I guess.
And we have a ton of early units. I think I want to keep the Hatchling.
I do.
I think I want to keep all the warp units like Blink Wolf and both Owlets, because that's our way of winning, like warping some stuff into play.
Yeah.
I think we can cut a Ruins Guide because we only have like Stronghold Vandal and a couple of mining teams. As for Warp,
Would you rather have it over the Pirate Adept, though?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I think I would rather play the Ruins Guide because he's got small upside and he's not so fragile. But
Okay.
I don't know.
So I'm thinking of cutting both Adepts.
If we can get away with it, yeah. Definitely one.
I'd rather play Blink Wolf instead of that.
Yeah, me too. 1, 2, 3. 6. Yeah, we still have eight things that cost 2 or less. Yeah, cut both.
And mining teams are on too.
Perfect. Best card.
best
okay,
card.
So we're one more cut. Is that right?
It's 29, so it's 1 or 2 more cuts. Is it
right,
Iron Hook? Is it Iron Hook? Is it Backlash? Is it Trailblaze? Is it? I don't think it's T-Rex. We're already down to 17 units.
Yeah, I like 1 at the top. I think Backlash and Trailblaze number 3 are the things we're least happy about showing up in our hand.
I mean, Iron Hook can just get something out of the way, like a small flyer or a 1/1 deadly.
Yeah. I don't even know how excited I am about Grandfather's Axe, but it does. I guess on our flyers, yeah,
helps us trade up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like it more than Iron Hook in this deck.
Okay.
But I mean, okay, so Backlash can go.
Yeah.
Or does it stay and we just BM someone with it?
No, this deck's gonna win. We're not in meme territory yet. Sorry, my computer keeps going to sleep. All
right. Maybe it wants you to go to sleep. Okay, no, so 28. Do we go for 17 power, or do we cut like a Trailblaze and go to 18 power?
I think cutting a Trailblaze would be fine.
Okay.
I don't hate running 17 in this deck either. I think the curve says 17, but with all this Scout and this over a third Trailblaze, I think I'd just be like, this also helps our fixing kind of too, right? So I think so. I like this.
Okay, so we have double primal here, double primal here. So 2 double primal cards and that's it. So this 8-10 should look okay. I mean, we also have Trailblazes. When it comes to scouting, look, we have 1, we have 2, 3, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 scouts.
Nice.
That's very nice. Warp, we have Blink Wolf, we have a couple of Owlets, we have mining teams. And we have Matriarch. And for shift, we have a couple of mining teams and the Vandal. So a lot of stuff in there. We have a couple of Onslaught coins as well. But this
we're doing all the set 6 stuff.
Yes. Just to show you guys what is out there, so we can pick one of these strategies and go with it. What's your prediction for this?
I'm going to be positive and say I like its early game. I think we'll hit the board. I think we won't stumble. I think when someone stumbles against us, we have a couple ways to finish the game if it's not through sheer force of offense. Like we have a couple of big flyers. In this draft format, and keep in mind I have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm not playing very well, I'm going to go with a 5.
Yeah, I wanted to say 4 or 5 unless this deck just dumps on us and we go 2 or 3.
But I think if you're playing, it's 5. If I'm playing, it's 4. So it's
thank you.
The deck's somewhere in the middle.
Also, I mean, look at the curve. The curve is just kind of okay. We could get away with a couple more 4s instead of a 2 and a 3. But other than that,
we didn't seem to be offered. I mean, I don't even know what's in that slot for these colors that we really should have been hoping for, because mining team is certainly not the biggest hitter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's submit.